beautiful people. Hey, beautiful people. Hey, how are you? It's your girl, Daunessy Shaitaire, back at it again with another Back at It Again. Welcome back to another episode of the Aligned Effect podcast where we discuss healing childhood trauma, practicing self care, discovering spiritual balance. How have you been? I pray you have been well. I pray that you have been taking the time to get to know you, love on you, find you, hear you, understand your own voice, all that good stuff. If you haven't, you already know what I'm going to say. Take the time this week, this weekend, and sit with you. Just vibe for a second. Better relationship with us, better relationship with the world. Amen. Amen. If you are new here, welcome. I pray that you stay. I pray that you have a good time. I pray that you enjoy the vibes that we set here at the Aligned Effect. If not, we understand. We're not everybody's cup of tea, but if you're not sipping this tea, something's wrong with you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you are a returning subscriber, listener, follower, viewer, thank you so much for vibing back with me. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much for being here. I'm a little chilly. Um, so thank you so much. And I missed you guys. I know it's been like, I didn't do a video last Friday, last Monday. And honestly, I couldn't do a video last Monday. But I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. And I'm excited about tonight's topic. The OGGOD gave me a little word that I cannot wait to share with y'all. Now, I don't know what this word is going to be. It's not a word. It's not a word. We're not opening the Bible tonight. That's Friday. But he gave me a topic. Just something that I think about often. And I just want to talk to y'all, something that I live honestly. And I want to talk to you guys about diversifying your development and stepping out of comfort zones and allowing yourself to live your best life, not the best life that others try to fit you into, but your best life and what that looks like and what that sounds like. So I'm in a process of writing songs or raps or rap songs. I don't really know. What I wanted to do and what I want to do is make an affirmations album. You're probably thinking, girl, why? Because I love music. I love music. I've loved music my entire life. Back in the day, I could have swore that I was going to become a backup singer for Destiny's Child or Beyonce herself. For real. When I used to be in the living room practicing to the DVDs and the concerts and everything, I had it down pat. I was really gonna be that girl, but that's not how life panned out for me, and that's okay. Never give up on the dreams that you have, or the passions that you have, or the desires that you have. So, in my process of just listening to beats and writing stuff out, I just really reflect a lot about how I have had the pleasure of being able to really live out my dreams. And I'm not talking about the overall dreams or the overall goals or the overall place that I desire to be, which is in a certain level financially, in a certain level status wise, in a certain level lifestyle wise. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that I am unafraid of doing the things that I love, even when it's a whole completely different path than the one that I've traveled before that moment, than the one that I may be expected to travel. Just following my passions and following the desires of my heart, and how having the courage to do that, whether it was me wanting to just get into artistry of all, just get deeper into artistry of all sorts. So taking doing online paintings just to understand colors, and going to cosmetology school just so I could understand certain aspects that I was just genuinely interested in, and then just learned about the entirety of hair and textures and products and chemicals, and how, and the difference between alkaline and acidic and our pH balance and electro or UV lights and heating and temperatures and hair temperatures and all different stuff and all different things like that, to taking writing classes to draw deeper into my knowledge of words, and just pottery classes and learning how to make beats and little things. I have been unafraid to follow whatever my heart is on fire for at that moment. And I think in it for a long time, I felt erratic, right? Because it's like, you know, pick a thing, stick to the thing, grow with the thing, right? But there was no one set thing that I wanted. There was no set one thing that I wanted. There were multiple things that I'm passionate about. There are things that I could live the rest of my life doing absolutely, and things that I could just live the rest of my life just trying, just dabbling, just experiencing for the sheer joy of learning it, of growing with it, of creating something of my own standing within that arena, whether known or unknown, seen or unseen, heard or unheard. It doesn't even matter. Just the process of creation of something that I'm doing, no matter what the industry is. And I think that is such a powerful feeling that each and every one of us should want to have, or at least should desire having. And it's not about chasing every dream and quitting your job and putting all your eggs in one basket. No, it's just about opening yourself enough to remember the things that made you happy when you were a child. When you were a child, you wanted to grow up and be something that probably didn't make sense to any adult around you, but it was still something that you're interested in. And that might have been a surgeon. And you may think I can never become a surgeon, but that doesn't mean that you can't take a class online about the human body, about simple things like that. That doesn't mean that you can't follow your interest in one way or another, or take a sculpting class where you learn how to literally sculpt a whole human body with your hands, with the clay or whatever products that you use in order to make awesome sculptures. It doesn't mean that you can't do these things. Lots of skills require surgical hands. You know what I mean? A lot of different trades require you to have nimble, strategic, well balanced fingers. And there are so many things that you can find and do and explore. And it's not to say, hey, don't do the thing that you want to do, don't pursue the thing that you want to do, but don't limit yourself, because sometimes we get overwhelmed by the goal. You know what I'm saying? I need to do this, or I need to do that, or if I do this, then it has to be like this. And sometimes it just needs to be simplified. You know what I mean? Maybe you wanted to be the captain on a ship. You know what I mean? Do something simple. Save up and buy yourself a little boat. You know what I mean? Even if it's a rowboat to start with. And now you're captain of your own ship until you build and you build and you build. And it may seem small. And it may not be anything to anybody else but you. And that's okay. But the journey that we are able to take of exploring the parts of ourselves is so underappreciated and so underexplored. I feel like in comparison, if I could compare it to the real time that most people spend as a collective, the real time that we spend and how much time and space that there's left to explore, I would compare it to that of the exploration of space or the exploration of the sea. It's only 95% of the ocean has is still yet to be explored. 95%. We've been on this planet for how many millions of thousands or whatever amount of years, right? And you're telling me that out of all those times, those centuries, those eons that we've been walking the face of the earth, there's still 95% of the ocean unexplored. That's wild. That's wild. But that's how it is with ourselves. There's still so much of ourselves that we don't give way to, that we don't give place to, that we don't allow ourselves to connect to because it's unpractical or it's not right or it's not this. And we want to be accepted by society. We want to be accepted by this. You want to be a dominatrix. I'm not saying that you should go out and just start smacking dudes around and making them pay you for it or taking their wallets. What I'm saying is find your truth, explore it, and stick with it if you feel like it's something that you're worth sticking with. There is not one thing in our lives that we have ever dreamed, that we have ever desired, that we have ever wanted, that we cannot have in some shape, way, or form. It doesn't always have to be a big bang. Sometimes the whispers tell us so much more than the noise ever could. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So, what is your thing? What is the thing that you know would bring you freedom, that you know would bring you peace, that you know would bring you joy? It doesn't matter if it looks crazy to somebody else. That doesn't mean choose something that's going to intentionally hurt those around you, or hurt yourself, which will then hurt those around you in the process. It does not mean go out and do something that just dishonors your whole entire setup. No, I'm telling you to honor your truth though, and find a way, if your truth impacts other people, find a way to honor you without necessarily knocking everybody else off their feet. And it's not to say that your truth isn't going to do that either way. It's just to say, I think sometimes when we take the power, I watch people on social media take the power of owning, knowing, and exploring their truths and standing firm in it, and it so easily can be weaponized against people, and we can easily forget to take the time and acknowledge the changes that it happens with other people. One example that um, I think sometimes when I see the little edits of it, it's like really sad to me. But Caitlyn Jenner and Kris Jenner, I feel like it was Chris Caitlyn's transition came at such a time, at such a pivotal moment within society, as far as our relationship with the trans community and how accepting we should have been, that it became almost wrong to talk about how the changes, that even though it's true to that individual, yes, but how those changes impacts the people around them. And you're no longer allowed to acknowledge that in a way that your pain is acknowledged, but that they're not dishonored in the same process, if that made any sense. So it's like Chris lost a husband. Caitlyn gained her identity, but Kris lost a husband. And I feel like she wasn't given the proper space as a woman who was married to somebody for however many decades that they were married to each other, right? The proper space to be able to mourn that without it being villainized against her, to make it seem like she was crazy or she was doing too much or she was being insensitive, when the reality was nobody can be insensitive when it comes to holding true to their feelings. Caitlyn felt how she felt about her wanting to transition, the feelings that she had leading up to that, whether she discussed them or not, whether they heard her or not, is irrelevant. She made her choice. She's allowed to have her feelings. At the same time, Kris is also allowed to have her feelings. So it's like we get so caught up in those dynamics in everyday situations within ourselves and with this world that we don't even understand, is that we're allowed to feel how we feel. The other person, the other situation, the other things attached to us are also allowed to feel the way that they feel. That doesn't always mean that the other people have to see our point of view and that we have to see theirs. That doesn't always mean that the answer is always going to be certain. That doesn't always mean that it's always going to be black and or white. It doesn't always mean that it's always going to be gray areas. What that means is that we have to learn when and where to compromise with compassion. I don't have to live up to your standard in order to hold true to mine. I don't have to stoop down my standards in order to hold true to yours. You don't have to stoop down yours in order to hold true to me. It's so much we compromise for people, but in a way in which there's a lack of compassion for ourselves. I can't say my truth, or I can't leave this marriage because the kids. But the misery that you and your partner is feeling is affecting them either way. So what are you really using it for? So it's okay to wake up one day after 20, 30 years of marriage and align with feelings you've had for so long, but you just didn't have the confidence or the freedom within yourself to stand true and say that you don't want to be here in this marriage anymore. Kids are grown. Everybody's out of this house. Everybody's doing what they're doing. I've compromised enough. It's okay to want to quit your job and want to live out your dreams for the rest of your lives. You have spent the past 15, 20 years working for this company, building yourself up. It's okay to want to just change course out of nowhere. It's okay if that's going to make you happy. It doesn't mean that it's going to bring you things. It doesn't mean it's going to bring you what this world says that we're supposed to have. It doesn't mean that it's going to end in materialistic success. It just means that it's going to end in a success that we cannot measure by time, nor things, nor space, nor comprehension of one another. Happiness is a self-defining journey. So if I'm smiling, it's because I'm choosing to smile. Not just because not I'm not just choosing it because it just sounds good or because it feels good, because both of those things are true. Smiling does sound good and it does feel good. And when you're intentional about those two things, feeling and doing good, when you put those things together, it's just it makes you happy inside. So if I'm intentional about everything that I'm doing, it's always going to add up for me. But if I put myself on a back burner, trying to appease everything and everybody else but me, how is that faring well? We don't understand how once we get in the habit of telling ourselves that we'll get to us later, it becomes a lifestyle very, very quickly. We'll get to us later. I'll get to me. I'll get to me soon. I'll get to me. It's okay. I'll one day I can do it. I gotta raise these kids. No, that just don't limit yourself. I gotta do for my family. No, don't limit yourself. I gotta stay with the family business, because if I don't, it's all gonna fall down. Okay, there's a business established, everything's here. So what can you do? How can you bring you into this? And if you're sacrificing the things that everybody else sacrificed and it didn't end them up anywhere, don't follow the same path. Choose different, choose better, choose wider, diversify by exploration. You can't know until you explore. You can't know what you want or what you desire until you take the leap of faith of trying it, of seeing if it fits for you, of seeing if it's aligned with you, of seeing if this is the thing that's bringing me happiness, of seeing if this is the thing that brings me peace. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying ask for some time off. Ask for some time off. Take some mental health days. You got PTO? Go ahead, put that in. Put that in. Put that in. Go ahead, put that in and take some time off. And evaluate and assess your mindset, your spiritual health, your mental health, your psychological, your emotional. Assess, weigh pros and cons, and then make an exit plan for whatever it is that you are aiming towards. And it doesn't mean this won't happen overnight. Me, I'm crazy. So I'll go ahead. Me personally, I am always going to bet it all on me. So I'm going to risk it all. I'm going to risk it all every single time. When I risk it all, I know that it's going to pay in dividends. Why? Because I'm always going to bet on me. Even when I don't feel it, I'm always going to bet on me. Even when I'm feeling some type of way towards me, I'm always going to bet towards me. Even when I'm feeling some type of way towards life, I'm always going to bet on me. I am the bag. You are the bag. You are the purpose. You are the reason. You are the one. And until we start looking at ourselves like that, we're always going to be looking over our shoulder thinking, what if? Or what could have been? Or what should have been? Or what would have been? You don't fail by not by taking the chance and not making it. You fail by never taking the shot altogether. What do you have to lose? And if you do have something to lose, what do you have to gain? Because you got to look at both sides of it. What do you have to gain? You're sitting here telling yourself you'll go back to school when the kids is grown. And da, 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 da. You can't focus on you while you're raising these kids. Why can't you? Why don't you and them both deserve a better life that can come by the way of you gaining a better skill, a higher level paying degree? Why would you talk yourself out of your better? For what? You telling yourself you stuck in this relationship, nobody's ever gonna love you like them, you can never do better than them, and da, 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 da. Why are you limiting yourself to one experience when there are a whole bunch of people out here and there's billions of people in the world? Billions. I promise you, at least 1% of that billion is all you. All you. All you. All you have to do is go out there and explore. Go out there and explore. I'm not telling you to cheat. Please don't use this video as a gateway to cheating. This is not a gateway to cheating. This is a gateway to finding your truth. And if you know that your truth is going to impact people, try to stand on your truth in a way where it doesn't impact people's life. So before you go out and cheat, just tell them you're not happy. Tell them you're not happy. Tell them how you feel. If they're not hearing you, let me tell you something. I'm not condoning any actions that's going to hurt somebody else. So do with that information how you will. But what I'm saying is You know what I'm saying? If it's a complicated situation, that right there. But don't intentionally, you know what I'm saying? Don't intentionally do something. You know what I'm saying? This can't be premeditated. It can't be premeditated, is all I'm saying. It can't be premeditated. So, yeah, explore these parts of yourself. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to create new lives for yourself. Don't be so uptight and overwhelmed by what it looks like and what it sounds like and what it feels like or what you're told it's supposed to look like, sound like, or feel like, that you miss out on opportunities of growth, on opportunities of elevation, on opportunities of healing, on opportunities of digging deeper within you and learning you better and evolving with you. Come on now. We are complex and amazing beings. And the deeper we dive in with ourselves and the deeper we understand and diversify how our minds move, how our brains fire off, how those neurons operate, how they communicate with each other, the only way that we can do that, the only way that we can shift that, the only way that we can change that, the only kind of control that we have over that is placing ourselves in a new environment, getting new connections made, placing ourselves in new experiences, getting new connections made, trying new things, getting new connections made. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So place yourself in the places that bring you peace. Explore the things about you that bring you joy. I don't care if it was a childhood dream, a high school dream, before you got married, or before you got kids, after you had kids, during you have. I don't care what the dream is. I don't care what the idea is. I don't care who the person is that you just always wanted to kiss. Go out, find them, kiss them. Go out, find them, kiss them. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? And just walk away. I'm not telling you to fall in love, build life. I'm not telling you to destroy up. I'm just saying just go out, find them, kiss them, and walk away. And just leave it at that. Never contact them again. Because you got to get it out. You just got to get it out of your system. I'm not saying you're going to be the next Picasso. What I'm saying is go ahead and paint. I'm not saying that, I don't know a famous drawer. Disney was a cartoonist. I'm not saying that you're going to be the next Disney. But go ahead and get that sketch pad out and get into it. I'm not saying you're going to be one of the most famous car mechanic people who repairs car like they do on West Coast Customs. But what I'm saying is go ahead and do your car over. Redo your car, do something different, dust it, paint it, stripe lines, whatever. You know what you try. I'm not saying that you're gonna be Ben Carson, one of the most famous heart surgeons in the world, but what I'm saying is you can be the best EMT ever. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is we don't always have to be the best according to the world standards, but as long as we've done everything that we can for ourselves, to explore ourselves, to get to know ourselves, to dive deeper with ourselves, whether it's leaving a situation, going towards a situation, moving from a situation, releasing situations. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you take the opportunity to listen to you close enough to know what serves you best in order for you to be able to serve everybody else around you better. Because we're no good to those that we love if we're living in lies within ourselves. We're no good to those that we love if we can't even be honest with ourselves. We're no good to those that we love if we can't love ourselves enough to be in one with ourselves. So become one with you. Become one with you and do not be afraid of what that looks like and what that sounds like and what that feels like to yourself above anything. But fuck how it looks to anybody else because you're worth it. Getting to know you is a beautiful, beautiful gift. And if you don't honor that gift above any and everybody else, how can anybody else do the same? And I don't know about you, but when somebody comes into my life, I want them to come with the best and brightest of intentions, of elevation, healing, growth, chasing better in every situation, in every which way, in every switch way, in every which way. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want. That's all I want personally. I don't really need nothing else. Not even looking for nothing else. I desire for you to come and be an addition. How can I be an addition if I'm constantly worried about what I'm lacking within myself because I'm not honoring me enough to align with my own purpose and plans, but okay enough to go ahead and attach myself to somebody else's purpose and plan? Absolutely not, no ma'am. No ma'am, I don't know about you, but if you can't live out your own dreams for you in any shape, way, or form, I don't want you anywhere near my dreams. I don't want you anywhere near my dreams. Why? Because I want you to love you enough to support you more than you're ever going to support me. And I want us to be able to share ideas, not just feed one off of each other. You see what I'm saying to you? I want us to be able to share, not just feed one off of each other. No. I want you to be here, and I want to add to you just as much as you're adding to me. That should be everybody's mentality. But if it can't happen, if I don't know me enough to know what I can bring and what I lack, what I lack to the point where somebody else could be a part of the conversation as well, to add to me as well. So diversify your development. Explore all the paths. Travel everything. Find your happy. Watch the cartoons and eat the fruity pebbles in the morning with the bunny pajamas on. Do what makes you happy. Get the guitar. Airplay it. And if that's get the drum set. Do the things. Join the band. Join the band. Call the people. Call the girl. Tell her. Do all of the things that make you feel whole. Explore all of your options. Be unafraid of who you are underneath that, within that, and wrapped up behind that. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Every single week you come and you vibe with me. You don't know how much that means to me. I probably tell you too much, but I love you. I like you. I like you. God loves you more importantly. I pray that you have an amazing rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, comment, share, whatever your little heart tells you. And I will see you later on this week. My dog is barking, so you know what that means. It's time for me to go. Stay blessed.